Meghan's royal sabotage role is complete. Harkles' damn boredom makes us want to puke. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to our Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. There is a good reason I try to insert a little bit of humor into my videos, and that is because dealing with Meghan and Harry can just be so depressing at times, and also incredibly boring. They're such a nasty, vulgar, disagreeable couple, and they're also such strange people, just so weird, and so messed up. You know what? If I did not add a little bit of comedy and satire to these videos, I'd probably fall asleep in the middle of recording, and then my videos would not be very good, and you know what? Meghan and Harry are not important enough to risk that. So let's start with Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is only the wife of a royal British prince. She's not an aristocrat, she is no blue blood, she's a commoner, and she just so happened to marry into the British royal family. Now, the fact that Meghan is a duchess does not entitle her to have a lady-in-waiting. The fact is, this duchess title is just that, it's a title. Meghan is not a noblewoman. But Meghan Markle lives in a fantasy world, so she really believes that she's this fancy aristocrat, that she's better than everybody else. And you can tell because she's such a bully. That's why she does it. She thinks that she can do that because she is their superior. She thinks that she's the most remarkable human being to grace our present age with her presence, that we should all just feel so honored to be living on planet Earth at the same time as Meghan Markle. Meghan believes that our purpose in life is to admire and applaud and celebrate her. She wants a cult of worship to be created surrounding her. She believes that we should follow her lead, we should conform to what she wants, do what we're supposed to do, and worship her as the reincarnation of Diana. Well, it's unfortunate because Meghan is a fake royal and the rest of us can just see she's a piece of gutter trash. There's nothing uplifting, there's nothing inspiring, nothing positive, nothing wholesome about Meghan. Her brand is focused on piss and vinegar. You know what, you might as well just drink a bottle of poison if you want off the planet that bad. And Meghan claims she's a duchess. Meghan Markle makes such a mockery of the Duchess label. It's really wrong the way that she abuses it, because at one point in time, those titles did mean something, but now, since that title is attached to Meghan, the meaning has all but dissipated. Meghan also considers herself to be the most important person who ever once graced the institution of the monarchy. So she probably thinks that she should have one or more ladies-in-waiting there to serve her, have more than any other noble women in the British monarchy. Because she believes that she is the reigning monarch of Californication with her own alternative court nobility. Now, of course, Meghan had to run away to California to set up her rival monarchy. What is a queen, though, without her puppet king, who believes that she really is magical and talks about her singing to seals? So Meghan and Harry decided they needed to share their lives with the world through their 6-part docuseries. But the thing about it is, they weren't even in their own home. Apparently, they borrowed the home of the businessman/entrepreneur Mark Schulhoff, who, by the way, is no saint because he's been charged that he's been involved in a fundraising scam targeting poor disabled veterans. And of course, Meghan and Harry try to get those free rides on private jets of the rich and famous in California, or maybe they try to get invited to Elton John's digs on the French Riviera. Harry and Meghan really are trying to impress everybody with their new court, even if they don't technically own any of it, and they have to beg and borrow and mooch for favors because, in comparison to their neighbors and other reputable celebrities, they're broke. Now, of course, they couldn't film at their actual home in Montecito because, security reasons. And I guess they couldn't go to a hotel in downtown LA either. No, I guess it was better to borrow Schulhoff's home than it was to film under a bridge. And the thing about this new rival court is that really it's only a meta court because don't you know it only exists in the digital world. Isn't that just like Meghan and Harry, though, to set up something that only exists in their minds? So let's take a look at what a lady-in-waiting actually is. A lady-in-waiting, also known as a court lady, is a female personal assistant at a royal court who attends to a high-ranking noblewoman or royal woman. Now, historically, in Europe, the lady-in-waiting would also be a noblewoman herself, but she would be of lower rank in the hierarchical system than the woman whom she attends to. A lady-in-waiting is considered to be more like a courtier, a secretary, and companion to her mistress. She's not really a servant. Now, in other civilizations and cultures, royal courts would have what was commonly referred to as palace women. They were not of high birth or noble in lineage. Instead, usually they were just slaves or house servants. And their tasks were basically the same as those of European ladies of court, with more than just being secretarial or household managerial to their mistresses. And then, in polygamous court cultures, palace women might be formally available to be the sexual servants and masseuses of the reigning sovereign. Now, a reigning sovereign could take a palace woman as a well-educated, artistically and aesthetically pleasing courtesan companion, and he could even marry her as a wife or consort, or perhaps take her on as a concubine in a harem of palace women. But the palace women did not really exist in European royal courts. Those were in other cultures. So in European royal courts, a lady-in-waiting was an umbrella term for women of noble birth, hierarchical rank, title, and court functions, whose purpose and practice could and did vary from court to court. Now, in some courts, it was just an honorary distinction. Titles of office might vary from court to court, too. It does make sense, because when we think about the Europe of today, well, that's the culmination of everything that has happened before, within this long history of patchwork quilt kingdoms, empires, duchies, and baronies. There was no overarching system, so of course, there would be many variations. It also means that depending on the royal court, a royal woman may or may not have any say or choice in choosing her ladies-in-waiting. Now, in courts where she had the right to choose, her decisions needed to pass through the approval or disapproval of the reigning monarch. Other outside influences that might shape outcomes could be the opinions of the parents of the lady, maybe her husband, or the ministers of the sovereign. And the duties of ladies-in-waiting were also not the same. They varied from court to court. But generally speaking, in the past, the duties of ladies-in-waiting included things like proficiency in etiquette, protocol. They had to speak multiple languages. They had to know all the popular dances. They had to be able to ride horses. They had to know how to make music. They had to appreciate art. And they really needed to be able to paint, too. Ladies-in-waiting were usually well-versed when it came to popular culture. So a lady-in-waiting would be expected to serve her mistress too by keeping her up on the current fashions, activities, and personages at court. And she could even make polite and formal introductions. There were also some ladies whose tasks were the care of the private rooms and the wardrobe of their mistress. And these would include things like bathing the mistress, undressing, and dressing her. Being a companion to the mistress was also a big part of the job, and a lady-in-waiting would be expected to help with even the everyday and mundane needs of her mistress. And the needs of a husband of a lady-in-waiting came second to those of the mistress, and there may be long absences too. So anyway, let's get back to our question of what exactly would be the role of a lady-in-waiting to Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. Well, maybe Meghan does have a lady-in-waiting and her mother, Doria. Either Doria or maybe that chicken that Meghan rescued. Although I don't know, I think the chicken is too high up in the hierarchy to fulfill that role. Now, Queen Camilla is known for being humble and not into all the hubbub of being a royal, so she decided to end the lady's traditional prominence at court, and she decided to assign women of rank to a less formal role as her companions. And I think that makes sense. I think she's trying to be supportive of her husband. She also supports this idea of a slimmed-down monarchy. So how exactly, though, does this ex-yacht girl, mattress actress, suitcase girl require a lady-in-waiting? I mean, really, who would even want the job? And what would that person even have to do? Massage her ugly feet? Maybe she'd be expected to let Meghan know when her nose starts falling off her face. Of course, I'm sure she would have to shovel on the bronzer, too, and probably feed the chickens. And rumor has it that Meghan has now fled the McMansion in Montecito, and now she's staying in a hotel. I guess she doesn't have those chickens anymore. What in the world is a duchess going to do when her duchy has shrunk down to the size of a hotel room? I mean, where is she going to put all those designer clothes she paid for with taxpayers' money? Where is she going to put all that jewelry that she stole from the royal family? I mean, good luck in finding the coffee maker in that place. I'm sure it's covered up by handbags. So lady-in-waiting, yeah, I don't think so. I'm guessing even the hotel maids are running scared. And you, what do you think of a lady-in-waiting for Meghan Markle? Please let us know your view below in the comment section, and we can also discuss the royal family. If you think my video is useful, please remember to like and share it with your friends and family who would enjoy it. And please subscribe to Kate Middleton and the Queen News channel to get more videos from our team. Now, thank you so much for watching. Good night, and I'll be back to see you all tomorrow.